I have the huge pleasure of introducing our next speaker and presenter, Mr. Wilhelm Mohorn. And I understand he has a new technology, but his passion's been ongoing, 27 years in development. So at this time, it's my pleasure to present Wilhelm.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm from Austria, so please excuse my English. Maybe I'm sometimes speak a little an Austrian English, right? So excuse me that. Thank you. So I will start with a very, very, very interesting quote from the NASA. Maybe you know it, maybe not. The zero-point energy is a potentially inexhaustible sea of invisible and utmost powerful energy. Welcome. We are in the mainstream. You realize that? This is NASA saying. Yeah? So, and I will begin with a movie, with a practical movie, so that you can see what we are doing. Maybe if you have some questions after the movie, can a little go into the questions and then I continue with the slideshows, okay? Good. So enjoy it. Thank you.
Masonry moisture in old houses. Old buildings frequently have the unwanted accompanying aspect of moisture in their walls, which causes increasing damage over the years. The unpleasant accompanying aspect is referred to as rising ground moisture. In the graphic diagram, you see how ground moisture is rising. It's a nearly invisible phenomenon. It becomes visible in higher portions of the wall due to the damaged plaster. The results are damage of paint, water stains, salt efflorescence, and plaster flakking on the facade of the house. By the interaction of complex chemical and physical forces acting on this masonry, it will be slowly but surely destroyed. Basic data. From building physics, we know that water is absorbed from building materials like a sponge. This effect is referred to as the capillary effect. If we put two materials of different porosity into a water ball, we will observe the following. Building materials with larger pores absorb more, while those with smaller pores absorb less. The thinner these pores are, the more capillary they have, the higher the water rises. In old masonry that lacks a horizontal moisture barrier, or there it is partly rotten, ground moisture rises into masonry. Ground moisture in the capillaries of masonry rises to a point where it oozes out as water vapor at the so-called evaporation zone. This results in the capillary head in masonry, which grows a little every year. It may be manifested as annual rings caused by different degrees of salt efflorescence. Moisture penetrates the ground due to precipitation, dew or groundwater. It then enters the foundation of masonry, where it rises and evaporates, mainly in higher portions of the wall. The greater the quantity of moisture, the larger is the amount of evaporation at the evaporation zone. As a result, salts that damage the basic structure of a building enter the masonry from the ground. The salts rise in a dissolved in water condition into the capillaries of masonry and are deposited in the evaporation zone in higher layers of masonry, especially in the pores of the plaster. The salts of building materials are also dissolved by the moisture stream, rise and additionally enter the pores of the plaster. Due to such evaporation, most salts are deposited in air pores, which are crucial for the regulation of the atmosphere in the room and clog the pores. The breathability of the plaster is thus reduced. In conventional plasters, salts usually rise to a visible plaster surface when they crystallize. The pressure of such crystallization and other chemical and physical mechanisms eventually destroy the plaster. In so-called renovation plasters, the aggressive salts are deposited in the lowest layer of plaster. The salts clog these pores and the plaster becomes waterproof. This makes the capillary head rise even higher and destroy further layers of plaster and wall. As wet masonry permits heat to flow out more easily than the dry masonry, the heat insulation of the building worsens. This means the following for you: much higher heating costs in the winter. The magnetophysical drying out process. Water has special properties. We get many interesting phenomena when energy influences water. For instance, when you rub a wool scarf against the plastic tube, you create an electrostatic energy field. Did you know that even this small energy field can deflect a 2 mm thin thread of water? Certain energy forms can direct water molecules. Observation showed that a similar situation occurs with the magnetophysical high-tech procedure of Aquapol. The exact mechanism of action are still being investigated. An Aquapol system was installed in the building. It covers the entire area of the building. This patented high-tech system, which is placed in a special case, you see some bigger models here, performs two basic functions. It dries out masonry with specific energy waves and also keeps it dry. This explains the word magnetokinesis, which we coined for the first time in 1988. Waves similar to electromagnetic ones cause motion or kinesis. In this case, it is the movement of rising capillary moisture. The energy wave structures apparently play a role in nature and in the cosmos in cases of spiral phenomena. Mr. Mohorn was awarded an honorary prize by the Ministry of Science for researching these energy wave structures on behalf of Aquapol company. The Aquapol system causes no electrosmog because it does not require any electrical connection or batteries. According to a hypothesis of the inventor and patent holder Mr. Wilhelm Mohorn, the futuristic internal structure of the Aquapol system is a novel generator with an innovative mode of energy supply. Its components are reminiscent of those of the long-forgotten but ingenious inventor Nikola Tesla, who laid the foundation for the worldwide introduction of the three-phase alternating current. For his basic functional research and successful implementation of these principles to dry out walls, Mr. Mohorn was awarded the Kaplan-Medaille, the highest award for researchers and inventors in Austria. Aquapol company developed complex and innovative high-tech measurement procedures for the production and quality control of the Aquapol systems. These guarantee high quality and 100% functionality in the long term. The phases of drying out. The magnetokinetic process of drying out walls takes place in two overlapping phases. The period in which wall moisture evaporates in upper portion of the wall is known as the evaporation phase. However, a large part of the moisture moves back downward into the ground due to the waves produced by the device. We refer to this period of drying as the dehumidification phase. During the drying out process in the evaporation phase, the salts dissolved in water are transported to the plaster zone, where they partly crystallize because of the evaporation process. The evaporation process, along with the crucial process of partial desalination, usually takes 3 to 12 months. This was confirmed by exact salt measurements in an expert report based on a major project in Germany. The less salts there are in the basic structure of the building, the less is the residual moisture in the wall. However, a large part of the masonry moisture moves back in the ground through the capillary system in the wall, which is the actual phase of dehumidification. What remains is the chemically bound residual moisture in masonry. The external climates might play a major role when walls contain a lot of salt. This is why we occasionally encounter moisture variations due to climatic factors, although the wall will have achieved its level of residual moisture. If the wall merely needs a new coat of paint, it should be painted after the evaporation phase. According to the ÖNorm, Austrian standard, and according to our long years of practical experience, the actual plaster renovation should be performed only after the wall has been dried. One thus avoids migration of the salts into the new plaster and consequent undesirable chemical reaction. When the salt content of the old plaster is too high, moisture spots will appear on the surface. Their intensity depends on the level of humidity. As we know, salts have hygroscopic properties in that they strongly attract moisture. Building analysis by the salesman. Every building is analyzed in regard of its moisture damage by a trained Aquapol salesman who uses a moisture diagnosis device for this purpose. All essential data are noted on the building analysis checklist. When one encounters symptoms of rising moisture, the Aquapol device can help to remedy the situation. The degree of rising ground moisture is of no major importance. Even a small quantity of rising moisture is enough to cause moisture damage in the long term. Other causes of moisture are also revealed, provided they can be discovered visually or registered on our measurement device. These causes can then be eliminated in combination with other measures or techniques. Placing the order, installation, efficacy test and service. Once the client agrees to place the order with the salesman, an appointment is made for the installation. Before the installation, the technician performs diagnostic investigations of masonry using the appropriate measuring devices. He determines capillary heads for the entire building and draws a capillary head diagram. Geological influences on masonry moisture and other important details are noted on the plan. Moisture measurements are carried out according to the scientifically accepted DAL method at places determined in agreement with the client. This laboratory measuring device guarantees highest precision, fast determination on moisture content on site and maximum objectivity for the client. And the results are noted in the measurement report. Climate data from the outside and the inside, as well as the degree of salinization of plaster and masonry, are recorded. Diagnostic investigations of masonry provide further information about the condition of walls. Any accompanying measures that may be required are then discussed with the client. Accompanying measures may be needed to prevent local hindrances to the drying out procedure. Such measures include the repair of the roof water runoff system, removal of moisture-blocking layers or layers containing excessive salt. We also discuss ventilation habits in order to reduce or prevent condensation water. The location for the device is determined on the basis of local data and specific measurements. The Aquapol device is then installed. The Aquapol efficacy test is carried out in a standard way. With this test we can verify the direct effect of the Aquapol system and render it visible for our clients even in most remote portions of masonry. Depending on the agreement with the client, Aquapol monitors the drying out process at regular intervals and advises the client as regards accompanying measures and appropriate renovation procedures. This is done on site by the technician or via telephone by our technical department.
Für die Sanierungsphase sollte unbedingt die Putzträgertechnik zum Einsatz kommen.
Rooms with high level of humidity, such as bathrooms, kitchens, bedrooms, cellars, or room with cold walls, may occasionally reveal condensation moisture on the wall surface in addition to rising moisture. When this turns into a permanent condition, the masonry behind becomes even moisture. Aquapol offers solutions for this problem as well. Aquapol references. Aquapol's lists of references includes buildings of very different sizes and building materials. The Aquapol system is suitable for clay, brick, mixed brickwork and porous stone masonry. Numerous farms, single-family houses, apartment houses, schools and public buildings have been dried out most effectively by the Aquapol system without cutting into walls and without chemical substances. Sometimes none or very little accompanying measures, such as the removal of old plaster, are needed to free a building from rising moisture. Even larger buildings can be dried at a reasonable price with this intelligent technology. Former that cellars can be used again. A large number of listed buildings can be freed from destructive rising moisture. The environment-friendly Aquapol system will keep the building dry for decades because these high-tech systems contain no electronic wear parts and supply their own cost-free energy. This revolutionary technology saves valuable cultural assets and frescoes. With the Aquapol device installed in the Parliament of Budapest in 1991, one wing of the building could be completely dried out in just 1 year. Thus, Aquapol is the fastest system of this kind. The innovative character and the many positive properties and side effects of the Aquapol system explain the large number of international prizes and favorable expert opinions the company has received. This level of recognition is unparalleled in this sector of alternative methods of drying out walls. You may request further information material directly at Aquapol International or from the Aquapol branches in your country. The Aquapol salesman in your vicinity will be glad to advise you about the possibilities of installing an Aquapol device in your building. Please find more details in the attached card. Simply give us a call or write us.
So, you like it? Have some idea what you're doing? So it's not only the system, it's not only the Aquapol unit. It's a very important part, but you have surround this unit a lot of knowledge which you need when you want to be successful. You should realize that. Good. Okay. So my next part will be introduction in the manifestations of space energy and on practical application. Just give you some idea which I found out 1991 and 92. This was my very, very strong years in my life. You can imagine, where I found out a lot of things and I want to understand my system, basically, because 1985 or 1983, when I started with the first prototype, I don't understand it really. Yeah, I just make it and then make some measurements and okay, it helps. And then it was a vision, and then but it was not. I know in my heart it was not fully covered up, and also not in the physics. Yeah, so and 1991, I start really with the research. So, and this is the working hypothesis, the manifestation of space energy. There is a nice quote. In my opinion, everything must be based on a very simple idea, and in my opinion, this idea will if we finally have discovered, be so enforcing and beautiful that we will say to each other, yes. How could it be elsewhere? So this is my attitude. When I did my researching, I was sure the answers should be not complex or difficult. There should be easy answers to everything. With this attitude, I do my research. If it gets too complicated, I say, no. The nature is not complicated. The nature is easy. The cosmic laws are basically easy when you really understand it. Okay? This was my attitude when I started this research. So I say, okay, what's space energy? Is it existing in every space? This is the reason why we call it space energy. Yeah? Or it has no mass, it penetrates any matter without direction, it comes from every direction, extremely ultra high frequent, and faster than light. So here is just a drawing to get the connections between this free cosmic space energy and other energy forms and matter. There are some correlations. So we check a little, go into matter. So we know that our planet are expanding every year. In the diameter, about 10 to 20 centimeters. The scientists are not really, they are not sure, they're fighting about that. But the Earth is expanding 10, 20 centimeters a year. This is a lot of tons of mass, of matter, which comes more and more and more. So why? The question is very easy. When free energy interacts with matter, it's changing also a little of this free energy into matter. Isn't this just a change? A very peaceful, very peaceful one. Very fun one. So, and there was a very wise movie in the German era from Franz Fitzke, Und sie bewegt sich doch. Also a documentary movie where it shows very good what happened. So there was also a very nice guy. He's Hans Heinrich Lendoll, 1893. He made an experiment, and he also shows that there is a matter grow. Yeah, and Dr. Klaus Volkhammer in German, he's still living. He do the same experiments with very high instruments, very high measurement instruments, and he acknowledged that. So there is matter grow is a manifestation of space energy. You have a lot of phenomena in the nature. Increase of energy are phenomena in the nature, right? You have these lighting phenomena, right? You have these phenomena of water hoses. Just remember, a water hose have tons of water. It is very heavy, yeah. To push that up, you need a lot of energy to get this condition. A lot, yeah. So okay, but it is a phenomena in the nature. It is increase of energy. So there comes some free energy in a resonance behavior, and you have it. Or tornadoes. And you are a lot of Americans here, right? So you know tornadoes. In Europe we don't have tornadoes, but I think in America it's well known. So this is also a phenomena in the nature which increase, with a lot of increase of energy from the space energy. They get some energy from the space. So, what's the next? Okay, we look at the gravity. Gravity of the Earth. So, if you imagine that from every side, this energy, free energy, come to the Earth, right? We make a figure. We make just a figure. We make 1,000 units. It's just a figure. These 1,000 units on the right side penetrates the planet and coming out maybe with 994. On the other side, the same situation. 1,000 units in, 994 out. It's just a figure to get an idea. So there is missing now this difference, these 6 energy units. And this difference is the gravity. It's the drive of the Earth, right? It's the pressure. So this is a part of a manifestation of space energy. You know that? You have heard about this theory? I think so, huh? Some of you, huh? Exactly, yeah, for instance. So then we come to another point. So this was gravitation. We come now to... Okay, they are missing some pictures. Hey, technician! They are missing some pictures. You don't know why? Okay. I will show you this is several kinds of polarizations of waves. You have a left circular polarization wave, you have a linear polarization wave, and you have the right circular polarization wave. Sorry, there is missing something, so I want to show you. If you have an electromagnetic wave, it is combined of 2 components. You have for instance, the electric component, and then you have the magnetic component. Okay? So these 2 components are always together. Yeah, this is Maxwell. This found out Maxwell in the 1800s, blah, blah, blah. Yeah? So the new idea is, the question was, what is space energy connected with these electromagnetic waves? What are the interaction of it? You just can imagine Ausbreitungsachse? Axis. On the axis, just on the axis of this electromagnetic wave, you imagine there are the space energy. So the space energy had the function of a carrying wave in electromagnetic. Yeah? This is the new idea. Yeah? So, and then we come to another kind of antennas which I'm using in my generator since 1985 and then 1982, 92. And you have different kinds of antennas, of aerials. You have, from the gravitative level, you have a flat spiral coil. It's flat, like Tesla did. But it's similar. It's not the same. It's not a Tesla coil, yeah? But it's similar. And then you have, on the magnetic level, you can receive this energy, this gravomagnetic energy, which I will show you afterwards, with magnetic coils. Yeah? So you have 2 levels. When you have an electromagnetic wave, you can also receive these electromagnetic waves, 2 different kinds of levels. You can receive it with this antenna, Stabantenne. What is the name? Stabantenne. With this antenna, radio antenna, or you can go in the magnetic level with a magnetic coil. So you have 2 ways to receive this electromagnetic energy. So, and that is simple with this gravomagnetic energy. So this kind of gravomagnetic energy, I will show you, I will explain you. This gravomagnetic energy is a spiral wave. This is the magnetic wave, the spiral wave. You can see it, yeah? And on this spiral, on this magnetic wave, the turning around the gravity wave. You understand? Not in the middle, not in the axe. It's turned around on the magnetic. You understand what I mean? Yeah, it is circulated. This is also circulation. Yeah, circulation. It's all circulated. Yeah, but it's not known in the physics. It's not known in the physics. This was a research. When I did the research of my 2 antennas, when I did the structure research, how could look this wave that I'm using? Yeah, and this was the result. And for this result, I get also awarded. So, and then when you imagine this kind of energy, this kind of waves, which is like this spiral, this function, then you can imagine that this also can cause like spiral galaxies. So I think that the spiral galaxy is a product of gravomagnetic energy because there is a spiral there. Or you have this very funny water whirlpool anomalies. Maybe you receive it, you see it in your home, that sometimes the water run up right side, sometimes the water run up left side on the half on our planet. It's not normal. It should be normally on the left side because of the Coriolis power, of the Coriolis force, physical Coriolis force. But it's not. Yeah, we found a lot of locations in Austria where the water runs up right and the water runs up left, and sometimes the water runs up right and then 2 minutes later left. Huh? What's that? Which kind of force is there to change this movement? There should be a force. Otherwise, it's not possible, right? So, and here's another example, this swivel growth of trees. You have seen that in the nature? Some of you? Yeah? So, why? Why he did that? Or why he do the other way? So, when you do a measurement on that point, you will find there is this energy, this gravomagnetic energy from the Earth. There is right polar side or it is left polar side. So there is a force, there is a physical force who gives this spiral in the trees. This is a very interesting thing. This is not like, yeah. Okay? It's an example. So, good, this is my hope. We have some graphics on that. So now I show you how this gravomagnetic field is how it works, how it comes to. Phase 1, you have R, free energy, come into the planet. You have these different kinds of layers, A to D, which get penetrated from any direction by this free energy, right? Or space energy, I call it 0-point energy, or whatever you want. So, this is step 1, phase 1. Phase 2, it comes to the core, on the left side, it comes to the core and going through the core. And my theory is that the core of the Earth is not nickel or iron, it is hydrogen. It is hydrogen. I'm very sure. I was not there, but but I'm very sure. I have a lot of evidences. Yeah, hydrogen. Yes, molecule on a molecule hydrogen. So, and this free energy, you see these yellow waves, goes through the core and changes in another kind of energy. Now here, in a gravomagnetic energy, you see it on the white waves, okay? So, you come to this point, and with the gravomagnetic energy, with the core matter specific frequency, because every matter had its own frequency. You can check it. So the next thing is it going to the others, to the other layers, and the reduction. There is a reduction of this field because matter is a resistance to every kind of fields, basically. Yeah. So they get a reduction, but come out here. You see that on the point with a very small signal, but it's still there. And then you have it all over the world. So I say this because I'm in Europe. Now we are also in South Africa, so on the other hemisphere. It's working also in South Africa. It's not only working in Europe. So and I'm very sure that this is all over the world. Okay? So then you have this phase that basically you can say now this geogravomagnetism is a manifestation of space energy. Yeah? Because then you have a lot of materials, a lot of different materials, then you have also a lot of frequencies. So there are existing a gravomagnetic field with a lot of different frequencies, depends of the content of the planet. Yeah? Okay? So, this is that. Oh, sorry for that. So, now we come to the Aquapol system. Now this is the very, very specific application. Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
You said hydrogen frequency based on molecular hydrogen.
Yeah.
And you said measurable then? Because you said you're sure that the core is out of hydrogen, then you must assume that the major part of the frequencies coming out
Yeah.
are the frequency of hydrogen.
Yeah.
And is that so? Is that provable?
This is the only what you can measurable is with a root. You know, you understand what a rod? Is a rod? So it's a biophysical instrument. Yeah, it's the first thing. The second thing is the antenna. My antenna are totally constructed on this wavelength. They does not work in other wavelength. They are totally it goes just in this frequency in resonance. This is the reason why I know it.
How did you find that frequency? By accident?
Vision. It's a vision. Was a vision. And then I do it and check it and then it works. Yeah? Okay? So, this is the unit. I show you now. This is the top secret. Dam-da-da-dam. Dam-da-da-dam. Yeah. So this is, I call it the turbo. This is the turbo unit, because with this turbo unit, I can try out a building with about 2,000 square meters.
Can we take pictures? Well, then take pictures.
Yeah, you can make pictures afterwards. It's no problem. You can make pictures afterwards. So you imagine, can you imagine? 2,000 square meters. You have in a building, in a wall, you have sometimes in 1 cubic meter 600 liters of water. Can you imagine that? How many tons of water this little thing here, this very little tiny turbo baby here, yeah, turn the moisture around and move it down in 1 or 2 years, sometimes 3 years, okay. Sometimes when the moisture is very high, it takes more than 2 or 3 years. But can you imagine that? There are tons of moisture, tons. This is not kilos, not pounds. We are speaking of tons. So there is a lot of work which this guy are doing here with free energy. And the most of that with free energy. Yeah, question.
And you say it is true hydrogen.
Yeah.
Or it affects water.
Only water.
Isn't it then a little scary because we also consider
Yeah, but the difference.
dry skin when it's in my house?
Yeah. Look, the difference between you and the wall is that you are dynamic. You are spiritual. It's life. There is a big difference between you, the body, the capillary system between you and from the wall, because the moisture in the wall is static. There is static phenomena. I mean, the little dynamic phenomena. 1 centimeter per day, they're going up. Maybe 2-3 centimeters. Maybe in your heart, there is kilometers. They make kilometers per day. You understand? There is a difference, because you are a mental being. You are a beingness. You have a mental beingness, and you have your own field. Yeah, your aura, you call it aura, you know it. And there is a big difference.
You should mention it's even the opposite. Many people keep
Yeah.
even after having been
Yeah.
situated by that because they feel a positive effect.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I tell it very shortly. This system, yeah, this system had also a very biological positive effect because, you know, I don't know the English name of Earth rays, also diese Erdstrahlen, diese sogenannten Erdstrahlen. Geopathogenic zones, you understand what the geopathogenic zone is? You understand it? Yeah? Okay, so this system with this field, with this kind of hydrogen field, dämpfen,
Diminish.
pressure, or move down, or diminish. So reduce these geopathogenic zones. Not 100%, but reduce it very high, in a very, very high percentages. And we get a lot of success stories from customers which are stating, hey, we are sleeping better. Hey, we don't have that. We feel better. The headache is less. Whatever it is. Yeah, there's a lot of things in this direction. But I don't want to go too much into because this is a healthy thing. So we are now in the physical thing, right? I think it's more interesting the physical thing, right? Or not? A little more, huh? Okay, good. So as you look at here, yeah, you have one is the receiving unit. So this receiving unit is basically, it's a spiral. It's a spiral system, a very special spiral system which is totally selected of this frequency of hydrogen. Yeah. So this receives my energy from the Earth, this gravomagnetic energy from the Earth. So second is the polarization unit. What means that? This energy with this receiving going to this polarization unit and get polarized. That means it get right polarized to use it for dehydration. I can do also the opposite way. I build it up left, and I can also polarize it left, polarized, and then we have a hydration. Because we make an experience in agri fields, agricultural fields. We make, for a lot of years ago, we made a diplomwork, yeah. And it is acknowledged that the system could also be heat rate when you build it the other way, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, makes the moisture rising up, not down, up.
Does it pull it up or does it increase the capillary?
I don't know exactly. I just see they get more moisture up or more moisture down. That's it. I don't know exactly the mechanism. Yeah, it's not fully researched. So, and then you have three. This is the sending unit. That means this unit here is sending out this field, this polarized field in the environment, on the wall or whatever. Yeah? So, and all together is a generator because from up, free energy comes into and helps that the system get more effective. So, and we just use this energy. This is very important. We just use this hydrogen, gravomagnetic energy with hydrogen frequency. It's very important that you know that. It's not electromagnetic. Because we did a lot of research, a lot of measurements. There is not electromagnetic. The system is also shielded with an aluminium Gehäuse. Huh? 30 cage, yeah, with aluminium, building it up as aluminium that no electromagnetic energy can go into. We don't need that electrosmog. We don't need that electromagnetic waves. They could work with electromagnetic, but not really good because they're fitting not together. Yeah, if some guy from electro engineering see that and broadcasting engineering, he see that and say, "Hey, come on, This cannot work because this is something we have to do with high frequency. This is a lower frequency. This fitting not together. No, it does not work. Why? Why he say that? Because he just know the electromagnetic basics. He don't know the gravomagnetic basics, which I found out 1991 or 92. There's a new kind of physics. There's a part of physics which is missing in the physics. You understand? I hope so. Okay, so first plane, energy up. Then the working area get polarized. You have it in the green field, but this green field would be very small because if you just have this energy from the bottom, you have no very funny output. But in the reality, it's that. So you see, you get a very, very much bigger volume of output. It's 10,000 times bigger than the space of the input. 10,000 times bigger and more. It depends on some circumstances. So why is it? If you check with a physician, he said, no, that's not possible. Because where is the energy who make it 10 times or 100 times more? What's going on here? Where is the energy balance? So the only answer is, that comes from above. And we did an experiment, and we measured that. 1991. There is, from above, there comes this energy in this funnel. It's a funnel, right? This is a funnel. It's a funnel. This funnel phenomena you see very, very often in the nature. Very, very often. This open funnel phenomena. And this is the funnel for free energy. Then we are in the vortexes and everything. You see so much funnel phenomena. So, and this is why it works. So, without that, it cannot work. It's impossible. Physical, impossible. Yeah? You know this movie, Drive? Yeah. I think a lot of you, right? So he also showed this very funny thing here, this geometrical, how is it? Geometrical form? Torus. Yeah, toroid, yeah. You have the same thing. You have this funnel, up and down. Yeah? It's very simple with my system. Very simple. I also have like a torus. It's not so symmetric like this, but it's very simple. So, and you know, I don't want to speak about it. I think I will end with this quote from him. If these new technologies for energy would be revealed worldwide, there would be major changes. It would affect everybody. It can be applied everywhere. These technologies are the utmost important that takes place in the history of this planet. Dr. Brian O'Leary. And we're ending with that point. The zero-point energy is the potential inexhaustible sea of invisible and utmost power energy. NASA. So just, we have to use it. It's waiting for us. We have to use it. Thank you very much for your attention. And I hope you understand my Austrian English. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.